to second. Nobody scored in the inning, but they got a good hit. Yeah, you know, we looked at it, but since it's DC and they don't have a track record, I think that we're a little
bit more hesitant.
Yeah. Yeah.
What it comes down to, I think Marvel has some sort of formula. Ooh. And I think we trust the formula. DC is struggling to find, like, when I think of Suicide Squad, and movies like that, the problems I look at are structural problems, like their plot and their character development that are like basic stuff.
Right.
So if they're getting them wrong, that's what worries me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
it doesn't matter how flashy your movie is if you're getting all this basic stuff
wrong. If you're getting the basics wrong.
And not even to say that they're not even choosing the correct director type as well, because that has a lot to do with the directing surface of DC, the DC universe.
And to be honest, I think Zack Snyder's influence has hurt the DC movies.
Yes.
Huge.
I think he's really hurt it, and you see it a lot. And I liked Man of Steel. I'm not one of those people who hated Man of Steel. But Batman vs Superman, I think Zack Snyder ruined. Justice League, I know Joss Whedon came in a little bit to help.
That cost so much money for those reshoots and everything, too.
Yes,
I mean,
sure.
And I think Zack Snyder's just killing DC, and I don't know if he's returning for anything. I really don't. But I think it's good.
I think they're pushing him out because of the track record. I mean, I've never been a Zack Snyder fan in the first place, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah. You know what? Ben Wilcox brings up some really good point.
Yeah.
The Crimes of Grindelwald for the Harry Potter series. I thought that was an interesting trailer that showed a ton of Easter eggs. And I really do mean a ton.
Real quick, before we go into that, another great comment here by Ben Wilcox about what you were just talking about. They wouldn't have been bad movies with structural issues fixed. The actors are good. Actors and the characters are cool. They're just rushing so much.
The casting for DC is superb.
Sure.
Like, Suicide Squad. Will Smith knocked it out of the park as Deadshot.
Yes.
Margot Robbie knocked it out of the park.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, Jared Leto. Yeah.
Again, is that necessarily Jared Leto, or is it the director or the writer for the
as Wonder Woman?
And there were some like Miss
Henry Cavill.
I even like Henry. I love Henry Cavill.
Jeremy Irons. Like, their casting is always spot on.
My biggest one is Lex Luthor. I think Jesse Eisenberg is a terrible Lex Luthor.
That was an issue.
And the thing is, here's the thing though. I think he was a perfect casting choice for the Lex Luthor they wanted. The Lex Luthor they wanted was complete crap.
It was
they gave us the Riddler.
Yes.
It
would have been good as the Riddler, but don't make him Lex Luthor.
Yeah. So Crimes of Grindelwald. I don't know if any of us here. I know you, Ian.
I watched it. Yeah.
You watched that trailer. I know you're a Harry Potter fan. Joe Zawiski, I'm sorry, your comment is incorrect. He just said I thought he was a great Lex Luthor. I apologize,
what's
Joe.
wrong with
One of my
you?
best friends, but that was an incorrect. Hot takes exposed right there.
Yeah. Hot mess.
You two are our best fans, aficionados. Okay. So what did you guys think of it? I did watch the trailer. I'm very interested.
I did not.
I probably won't watch the movie, but I'm interested in the idea of Johnny Depp as Grindelwald because I can only picture Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow at this point. Yeah. And so I just picture Jack Sparrow with magic.
You can't see him as Whitey Bulger?
No. So what did you guys think, though, of this trailer?
Now, I'll be honest with you. I have not seen Fantastic Beasts yet. It's on my Netflix queue, and it's coming. I'm going to watch it before I see the movie. It's one of those, it was just a timing issue where I was in college. I just couldn't get the thing to see it in the theaters. Couldn't get it on Netflix, but I'm going to see it. Now, that being said, I thought it was a decent trailer. It intrigued me. It looked like the characters are fine, all that stuff. I think the whole idea of a young Dumbledore, introducing what he's going to do, like seeing a bit of Dumbledore's past, that you've kind of, if you've read the books, you know a bit about like what he's kind of.
Let's be honest, it's Jude Law, correct? That's the actor.
Jude Law, yeah.
Jude Law looks good.
Yeah,
he's a good actor, and he looks good as a young Dumbledore.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
So
solid.
I'm intrigued for that.
He's so great.
I love him. I can't. Oh my gosh.
But, he's just so yummy.
So I will see the movie before I see this one, and it's not because I don't like Harry Potter or anything. It's just a lot of weird timing stuff that got put on the back burner. Okay,
that's all right.
But.
All right.
But
stuff happens, life happens.
It does. But so I probably didn't catch as many Easter eggs as you did. So I'll let you go through them, and then.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone that hasn't watched the movie.
You can. It's okay.
Well,
it's a podcast.
Well, here's the thing: the second movie picks up where the first one left off.
That's always good when that happens.
Which is great. It doesn't go
something to DC has some issues with.
Exactly. But it's the thing that like. Sometimes second movies go like a month or 2 months or 3 months ahead of time, and then they just let it pass, or maybe even a year or so. the original movie had some really, really great actors. There were some major roles to be filled, especially with Dumbledore and Grindelwald, and I'm trying to think of the girl who played in it. Oh man, I want to say she was not Peggy Carter, but
now we're crossing universes, and I'm really confused.
She looks exactly like her, though. I don't remember what her name is.
I don't think it's her, though.
No, well, she looks like her.
When you're done with this, I have a theory I want to bounce off of you guys just to see what you think.
But I thought the first movie was great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Okay. Go into your...
Okay.
Hit us.
I don't know a ton about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And the original books, the 7 books, and stuff like that.
I'm not a big book
this.
fan.
I do know this.
Yeah, I've read the books.
That Dumbledore, one thing he is famous for is defeating Grindelwald.
Yes.
In a duel.
Yes.
So what do you think of this theory that in this trailer, because I did watch the trailer,
and
at one point Grindelwald it appears he's going to duel Newt, and he says something along the lines of, do you really think Dumbledore will mourn you after I kill you? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact line, but something like that. So what do you think of this? Grindelwald does kill Newt
and then
at the end of this movie. And then the third movie, finally Dumbledore is forced to come out and duel Grindelwald, because I know in the Harry Potter books
he
and
kills
movies,
him, and that's how he gets the Elder Wand.
Right, he takes the Elder Wand from him, but it's that he's very hesitant, and finally something big forces him to go and duel Grindelwald. And what do you guys think if that's the big thing that forces Dumbledore to actually duel Grindelwald? Do you think they'll go that way? Do you think they'll do something else? What do you think?
Very possible. Yeah. That's like a 95% chance right there.
That's a decent theory. Yeah.
Would
you like to see Newt dead?
I mean, that'd be cool.
Do you want to see him dead on the ground?
I am okay with that.
All right. Okay. So let's move now into the TV shows.
Sure.
We've been talking movies and stuff like that. Let's move into the TV shows. I am a personal fan of the Arrowverse. I really like Arrow. There's only one season of Arrow that I didn't thoroughly enjoy, and that was Damien Dark. When he was the major villain.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was season 5, but I don't remember exactly.
It's
either 4 or 5.
Somewhere around there.
And so I like Arrow. I love The Flash. I like Supergirl. I'm very interested to see what they do with Arrow. I know he's in prison now. Is this going to be a really slow season? What do you guys think? Based off the trailer, do you guys think that Arrow Season 7 is going to be slow? And do you think we're kind of seeing the end of Arrow, not the Arrowverse, but of Arrow, and maybe transitioning into a Batgirl role? Not for him, obviously, but... What do you think?
That's the twist.
That's the twist! He's Batgirl!
Stephen Amell is now...
I personally met Stephen Amell at Comic-Con.
Oh, cool.
He is an awesome, amazing stand-up guy. Like, very classy.
He doesn't sit very often. He's always standing.
He always stands up. You know what? When people were, like, rushing to get over to get his autograph and, like, you know, to finally meet him, he took all of the handicapped kids throughout the audience and rushed them to the front of the line.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which was really awesome. It's very classy. It's a classy move.
He's trying to make up for shooting people in the chest.
And like, he shook everybody's hand. He wasn't allowed to take pictures because at New York Comic Con, you're not allowed to take pictures with someone unless they actually pay for it. It makes it a little grimy.
Yeah.
It's a grimy business thing, but he was very thoughtful and very cooperative with the people who have made him what he is.
Right.
And you know what? He had very limited background before he was the Arrow.
Yes.
And
now, really the only thing he's done since then is be in that terrible TMNT movie.
Oh, yeah. It's Casey
really
Jones,
the only thing he's ever done besides this that's big.
Well, yeah, true. But regardless of that, I have a personal feeling that this is not necessarily the pinnacle, but the downslide of the Arrow. Mm. I think everything that's led up to it, Deathstroke,
great villain,
which is a fantastic villain. I'm trying to think of all the other.
You had
Damien Dark, Ra's al Ghul,
Prometheus, who I thought was an excellent villain as well.
And that was in last season, correct?
No, season before, actually.
Season before, okay. I don't know where they go from here. Mm-hmm. not necessarily that they brought it all to the table in the very beginning, but it was exciting, it was new, it was flavorful and delicious, all in the beginning. And now, they give it.
At a certain point, you just run your course, and you're running out of content.
And we were talking about this. Ian and I were talking about this on the ride down here. That he doesn't really have a big enough rogues gallery to go. We were talking about something like Batman. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, even like Deathstroke is borrowed from Batman. A lot of other
DC's villains
are borrowed from each other a lot.
But so are Marvel's, even more so.
Marvel's are more connected in the universe.
We were talking about how Batman, if you made a Batman TV series, and not Gotham, which is good, I enjoy Gotham, but actually a Batman TV series,
a good one,
you could go 10 years and never repeat a villain.
He has the rogues gallery to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you might have to repeat the Joker a few times.
But you could have a major villain each season.
He has so many good villains that could each have their own storylines.
Yeah. Interweaving with each
other. The Condiment King.
The Condiment King.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, we're going to go with him.
If you guys don't know, he's an actual Batman villain.
The minstrel.
I'll shoot, catch and bet you, Batman.
But, should I mention Supermax?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about that.
For those of it, this relates to the Arrow thing. Have you ever heard of Supermax?
I haven't.
Okay, so this was...
It's a deal where you can give an NBA player more money than...
That's what it is.
But, so this was... there was a screenplay. I forget who wrote it, because this is not like a huge thing. It's called Supermax. It was before this whole era of superhero movies. It was an entirely Green Arrow-centric screenplay idea, where he is falsely accused of a crime and goes to Supermax, where all of DC's supervillains are kept in lockup. And so he has to find a way to break out of Supermax and clear his name. And in order to do so, he has to make tentative alliances and stuff like that with all these villains that him and other DC heroes have put away. And it was a very interesting idea for a story. And it's so weird. Green Arrow, of all people, before like the dawn of superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that that's what they're going into now, but I know they do have him in prison.
Right, yes. But from the trailer, and he meets a lot of the villains.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they might be borrowing a bit of that.
Right.
Which could be something interesting to do.
Let's talk about Batgirl. If you don't know, they released it's not a trailer as much as it is a spot that talks about, it shows that Batgirl will be joining in the December crossover event.
Yes.
Coming in. What do you think this implies for the Arrowverse as a whole? Do you think we're going to get a Batgirl TV show?
You're awful quiet on this, so.
Well, I'm awfully quiet because I actually don't watch the Arrowverse.
Wow.
Because he's not actually
all right, then never mind.
No, what killed it for me is that the Arrowverse isn't canon with their movies. I don't
true.
And I don't watch a lot of TV as it is. I really don't.
That's true. Yeah.
I got into Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it was canon to it, and I'm not really interested anymore. It ran its course, I thought, after 3 seasons. I like the Marvel Netflix stuff that Marvel puts out. Again, I liked it because I think they have good characters, and like especially Daredevil and Punisher. But it's also canon, whatever. But I've always had a hard time wanting to watch it because I'm like, it's not canon. It doesn't. I can enjoy it for what it is, but I don't have a lot of time to just watch shows, so I just don't.
You need to make time.
Yeah.
Stop working so much and sit on your butt.
Yeah. No, I've just never. I've seen episodes, and I think they're interesting, but I've never cared enough to go back and watch 6 seasons of Arrow.
That's true. Well, the thing for me is I feel like sometimes TV shows run the problem of cycling the same arc. Again, I feel like Arrow's done that. Like, he's falling into the darkness again. He's falling into the darkness again. He's falling into the darkness again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So stuff like that. And, I think you can tell when they start a series. Like, for me, the first 2 seasons of Arrow were great. Mm-hmm. I think the first season of Arrow, they ended superbly. They followed up with Deathstroke and a great villain arc.
Oh, yeah.
And then same thing with The Flash. First season ending, spectacular ending to the season.
Yep.
Second season, I thought had a good ending and all stuff too. And then I think they kind of struggled to make relevant character arcs after that. And it's not that they don't do it sometimes, because they have moments where they dip and they go up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like they run that risk, and some of the Arrowverse has fallen into that, because I loved all the earlier stuff, but then after like first few seasons of Arrow, I lost interest. Flash, I liked it. I really liked the show, but I'm not that tempted to really watch it.
Does the inclusion of Batgirl which by proxy means that there is a Batman,
yes.
in this universe, and Gotham has